I've got the style and profile.
Is behind yo. Pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a cop try to ticket you, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. When a fan gets an attitude, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss, pull a Randy Moss. I make $7 million a year, everybody watch me score. Don't play unless I want, cause I'm number 84.
Who says I won't walk off the field again? Who says I won't? Because the realness hurts. The truth hurts. I keep it real.
From the Green Bay 34, play clock down to 3. Dante gets off the play, takes a snap, rolls out to the right. Moss wide open. He burned out Harris. Touchdown!
And profile like never before. To beat a man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey guys, this is Nick and RJ coming back with another podcast. This one's going to be mostly football, basketball, a little bit of baseball, all mixed in. The first thing I want to jump into is the recent contracts. There has been 3 huge deals that got done all in one day. There's another one that's in the works. And then I want to talk about Des Bryant's ridiculous comments. The first thing is, RJ, how do you feel about the Tony Romo contract?
Tony Romo is one of the guys that it's hard for me to say anything positive about him, honestly. I'm just not a fan of him. I think it says a lot. I have a friend that's a real big Tony Romo fan, so, you know, he just have a whole different opinion than I do, but I think it says a lot about a quarterback when your own, I guess the Dallas Cowboy Nation or whatever, the fans of the team, you know, when they say, I know Cowboys fans that say stuff like, you know, we love the Cowboys, but we hate our quarterback. And just the idea of your own fans hating your quarterback I think that says a lot about the quarterback. Sanchez is the same way.
Yeah, like me as a Bears fan, everyone hates Cutler. I love Cutler.
Yeah. Well, I think Cutler's a heck of a lot better quarterback than Tony Romo.
Well, I'll break down the contract. It goes 6 years. It can exceed $108 million.
Yeah.
He just got more guaranteed money than Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Romo gets $51 million, and Flacco gets $51 million.
See, that's a really tough place for me right there, because I think Flacco's probably one of the most useless quarterbacks for that price. And I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people. I'm not saying he's a horrible quarterback, but he's far from elite. And
that's for sure.
But I mean, would I take either one of them over, you know, someone like Andrew Luck or something? No, there's no way in the world. And I mean, has Andrew Luck done really much yet? Obviously not, but he did have a great first season. And I would, I'm clearly biased on this conversation right now because I'm a Colts fan, but
yeah. Well, me personally, I see where the Cowboys are coming from, but it's so hard to find that quarterback. It's not like they can go
that's true.
It's a perfect example. There's no gems in there.
Well, I mean, Tony Romo is probably the best bet for them right now, but I just don't. The Cowboys aren't going anywhere. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, right now is a time that really sucks to be a Cowboys fan. Just like it sucked to be a Colts fan 2 years ago when we had one of the worst records ever.
Yeah, and then along with the Cowboys, you got Des Bryant saying that I'm going to get 2,000 yards receiving. Me. You guys, why don't you worry about getting in the playoffs?
Yeah.
This whole me thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. They call them America's team. And I mean, if that's America's team, America's not doing too well, you know, because...
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at Calvin Johnson last year. He broke the receiving yards record. What did that get him?
Yeah, I'd take Stafford over Romo any day of the week, though.
Well, yeah, it's just like Des Bryant. Like, I think that he's a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL.
Oh, definitely, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I could say that, but it's just him still not at that stage of him putting the team before his individual awards.
Yeah, I like Miles Austin too on the Cowboys.
Yeah, and then you got Jason Witten there.
Uh-huh.
Like, how do you think you're going to get 2,000 yards? You're going to be throwing the ball 70 times a game, and that means you're going to be down, and that means you're not going to be winning your division and making the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, what'd they finish last year? 8-8?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't know because they lost the last game of the season. The Redskins, they got murdered.
Yeah, they really did.
It was to get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I see where they are, but the Cowboys got a really ridiculous owner too. I mean, he's crazy. He's loony.
He treats them like a fantasy team.
Yeah, he's loony. He's really loony. But I mean, Tony Romo. There's people that will sit there and and say, oh, he's great and stuff. And there's other people that will trash him. I'm not trashing him, but I'm just saying I don't think he's worth the money that they're paying him. But if you compare it to Flacco, I mean, you might as well. That kind of justifies it when you compare it to Flacco, who's definitely. I mean, okay. What I'm basically saying is I would pay Romo before I'd pay Flacco that kind of money.
Yeah, basically, Aquan Bolden got Flacco that money.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
And yeah, he got him that money. Then he's just not on the team anymore. It's real great.
Yeah, and then since I live in Green Bay, I'm working on a new deal with Aaron Rodgers.
Now, if these guys are worth anywhere near the money, if they're giving money like $100 million to these guys, Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Tony Romo and Joe Flacco combined.
Yeah, they're looking at really $25 million a year.
Oh, I mean, he's I would pay him whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I mean, God.
If someone was worth that, he would. But I think that's just outrageous to pay someone.
Well, it's going to get worse and worse every year. I want more money than Peyton got 10 years ago. I want more money than this guy got 5 years ago. I mean, that's it's all about breaking records, being the highest paid ever. That's what they all want.
Yeah.
But if anyone's worth the highest contract in the NFL, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for I go for quarterback ranking. I probably go Rodgers, Brady, Peyton, Breeze. I think right now that's me right now.
We wouldn't put Michael Vick in there, huh?
Maybe.
Oh man, you wouldn't put Michael Vick in there if it was obviously if it was years ago you would, but not now. But I don't know. Michael Vick is somebody that I'm not going to say he's lost. He just had a bad season. We'll see. This year we'll say a lot about him. He just had a bad season last year.
Yeah, well, they had no offensive line. What do you expect the guy to do? You could have Peyton Manning back there. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Vick did what he could. I mean, he's obviously getting older, but funny thing is, I'd take Michael Vick over Tony Romo. I'd take Michael Vick over the God Joe Flacco too. I don't care.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's.
If the season were to start right now, pick your Super Bowl teams.
Pick my Super Bowl. Oh, Denver Broncos.
Yep. Who are they gonna play?
Shoot. That's that. I just 49ers.
Yeah. See, I think after the draft we'll be able to tell a lot more because my whole thing is it's Denver or New England versus it's gonna be one of those two represent the AFC.
Yeah.
Again, it's either going to be Green Bay, Seattle, or San Fran, all depending on the draft, what Green Bay does in the draft. If they get a running back, if they fix their offensive line problems. Their defense is sketchy at best. They got no pass rush, and teams just sit back there and pick them apart and expect Rodgers to score 60, 70 points a game.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, Aaron Rodgers is no doubt in my mind the top of the list. Like I said, I'm biased. Obviously, I'd put Peyton over him because I'm a Peyton Manning guy. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a Peyton Manning guy through and through. And I mean, Peyton had a fantastic season last year. He really did. And if we have more of that this year, I haven't been more mad at a football game than when they faced the Ravens and they went for that QB kneel with so many seconds left to go, like 30-something seconds left to go into overtime. You got arguably the greatest regular season quarterback of all time, and you don't take a chance at it. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah, that game was really depressing.
Yeah,
I was hoping to see a Denver-New England rematch.
You know what team I think is on the rise? And I mean, I'm not saying on the rise as in playoff status, but on the rise as in just progress from the last few years is the Bengals.
Yeah, if the Red Rifle hopefully he hasn't peaked. Hopefully this isn't all he can muster.
Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
They need another complimentary wide receiver with A.J. Green because I know that Sanu, he was hurt all last year, but they're saying that's going to be their number 2. They got Gresham, who if he wouldn't have tore his ACL in college would have been a top 10 pick, and they stole him.
Yeah.
The defense is good. They re-signed. I think they re-signed one of their quarterbacks. I forgot which one they did, but they just re-signed it for a 2 or 3 year deal.
Yeah, you know what they could use right now, right? They could use Chad Ochocinco right about now.
Oh yes.
That'd make a big difference. Yeah. Oh yeah, we call the TO show. The TO show. Bring them both back.
Yeah. You know what the best division in football is going to be in the next 5 years?
Oh, who's that?
The NFC West.
You think so?
Oh yeah, St. Louis is going to be. They're going to be a powerhouse. With Jeff Fisher as their coach, they do nothing but draft good players. That defense already is just nasty defense. And you got Fran's defense, Seattle's defense. If Russell Wilson plays, then that whole division is going to be up in the air.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about coaches, and I got a question for you real quick then. Who do you personally think is the best coach in the NFL? Head coach.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick? Yeah, I was going to say the genius as well. Bill Belichick.
There's no argument there.
No.
You just say his name, and that just says dynasty.
It really does. Bill Belichick to me is the Phil Jackson of football.
Yep.
That's just my opinion on it, and I 100% agree with you.
Yep. Yeah, I got to put Mike McCarthy's up there just for what he's doing with that team, but I would have to Mike Tomlin's in there.
Okay, what about this? Would you take Bill Belichick or Vince Lombardi?
Oh, I don't know. Different time.
Yeah. You think Vince Lombardi, though, I think he could adapt to today and be a fantastic coach?
No, just because of the way all the defense changes.
Yeah.
All the tic-tac stuff, all that stuff.
Can we talk about the new rule they made with the head tuck thing and stuff?
I actually wanted to talk about that, too.
Yeah, Go ahead and tell me what you think of it first, real quick, if you want.
I think it's moronic. I think it's just dumb. If you're a running back, if you got a guy on your left side and a guy on your right side, you can't lower your helmet to save you from a huge impact. So basically, they made a rule to try to prevent people from being injured, but the rule's gonna help people get injured. It makes no sense.
Well, I just think that so many of the rules they make these days is kind of ridiculous. I mean, you can't even touch the quarterback without having some type of penalty.
Yeah, just put a red jersey on him.
I mean, it's insane to me. I mean, just the smallest things and just the smallest touch. I mean, it's going to turn into was it going to turn into flag football or something soon? Two hand touch. Like as soon as you touch them, that's it. They're considered down. Like it's ridiculous. Some of the rules they're doing. I mean, and one of the biggest draws in football is, at least it's been that way for the last 20, 30, 40 years, is the hits. People want to see people get rocked.
Exactly.
Remember Ray Lewis back in the day? I mean, Ray Lewis rocked people. That's what got him, into stardom was those hits that he used to do.
I think if you're going to take on that contract and the teams are going to be paying you millions and millions, you need to sign a waiver. I will never sue the NFL. I know what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And it is over like that. You're getting paid ridiculous amount of money to play a game.
Uh-huh.
You know what's going to happen. You know what could happen. But yet you want to play out your career, blow all your money, and then sue the NFL so you can get more money.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I mean, the concussion thing last year was huge.
Yeah,
I mean, Austin Collie on the Colts, I think he got 3 concussions last year. It was insane.
Oh, that's Mr. Concussion.
He's just like Mr. IR. Remember Mr. IR? Colonel Sanders, Bob Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
He was Mr. IR, dude.
Mr. IR, Mike Brown.
There's always a new Mr. IR every year. But it's funny. The concussion thing, it's always been around, but since they highlighted it, that's all they talk about every year now is the concussions. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely illnesses that happen, and you got to protect yourself. But I mean, when you think about it, more than less, most of the the football players that have played for the last 20, 30 years, most of them are okay.
Yeah, a lot of them, like Jim McMahon, for example, his wife has to program his address in his GPS because he'll forget where he lives. They did a whole story on him on ESPN.
that is terrible. That really is, but
yeah.
But I mean, he might forget where he lives, but when he gets there, he realizes he has a giant mansion right there. So
yeah, there's people on that ESPN First Take with Skip Bayless. There's I forgot what his name is, but he said he's one of the guys in the lawsuits, and they're like, well, if you knew what you do now, would you do it all over again? Yeah, I'd do it all over again. So how are you suing? I
don't get it. They're just trying to get more money, I guess.
Exactly, and I think it's wrong. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Speaking of Skip Bayless, I honestly think that he's probably the best analyst around, honestly, in my opinion. I think Skip Bayless is probably the one guy that just says, how he feels and tells it like it is. And,
Yeah, but I hated him for so long.
did you? For the LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, other than LeBron stuff, I've always agreed with him. I really have. He's a Tom Brady guy too, so I bet you like that.
Oh, very, very much so. But he's the guy that you love to hate because he'll get basically he's the heel of ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, even if I don't agree with him, and there's things that I don't agree with, he says, but I don't ever take it personal from him because he's the one guy that will say whatever he thinks. It's not about the popular decision. It's not about anything else. It's just what he thinks, and sometimes he's right, sometimes he's not. But I think that's what makes him probably the best, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like him. I love Stephen A. just because I'm such a big NBA guy, and that's how he lives for basketball.
But I don't like Stephen A. that much because everyone's a dear friend of his. Everyone's a great, and no matter who they're talking about, he's like, my good friend. He always has to put over that he's a friend of everybody that he talks about, and that just aggravates me.
NBA guys, it's all stuff like that, especially guys because he's been around and he's done so much stuff.
He's definitely good at what he does. It's just I just prefer Skip Bayless a lot more than him.
I like it that it's just those two, and I don't mind having them having like a little celebrity, but a lot of times it's guys that don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, they bring people on there like a talk show. They'll come on there just to promote their movie real quick.
Yeah.
Like Steve Carell was on there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw that.
And stuff, and he actually sounded like he knew a little bit of what he was talking about, at least. He's a Boston guy, and he was talking. So I mean, I like. I mean, do you remember when First Take didn't have like the Kerry Champion on it though? It was just them two.
Yep.
I mean, do you like it better with having the Kerry Champion on there? To go back and forth.
I liked it better when they had the original guy on there.
Did you?
From Cleveland.
You know who I like to see on there while you're thinking of that? I like to see Shaq O'Neal on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because he would be great.
Chad Johnson on there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Chad Johnson, he goes on there a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, he knows what he's talking about, too.
Yeah, but he likes to put Skip in his place, too.
Yeah, that part I don't like.
He's another guy. He'll say what's on his mind, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I like what he says it was on mind, but some people really... I have somebody who was on there. Who was it? Did you see the episode? It was, I forget the dude's name, but I think he's off the... Was he off the Seahawks? He was on there last week or 2 weeks ago, and he was...
Oh, Richard Sherman. I love Richard Sherman.
Dude, Richard Sherman was super hating on Skip Bayless.
Oh, yeah, because Skip Bayless was hating on him, that's why.
Yeah, but God, he took it a little too far, man. He was like crazy. He's crazy hating on Skip Bayless. But the thing is, every time Skip Bayless would ask him a question, it made him look idiotic because he would like go out of his way not to answer Skip Bayless's question, which is kind of stupid.
Yeah, because he said he's not going to give him the fact of the whole thing that he was calling Richard Sherman out, saying that he's not the best quarterback.
Yeah.
Which proved that he is the best quarterback. This year was better than any Darrelle Revis year that Darrelle Revis ever had.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about football, I'm gonna switch the subject on you real quick. All right. Tim Tebow. What do you think's gonna happen with him?
I think he needs to get on a different team and play quarterback.
All right. Well, before we get into the actual Tim Tebow subject, go ahead and tell us, because I know you're a big Tim Tebow guy. Tell us a little bit about what you think of Tim Tebow.
I think he is what's awesome about the NFL. I think that they need more people like him to fire a team up. That team that he took, the Broncos, that Bud Bundy, a.k.a. Kyle Orton, couldn't get a win with, he took them to the playoffs, being the number one defense. And people said he couldn't throw the ball. He was the number one fourth quarter rated quarterback in the NFL. His quarterback rating was number one out of everybody, out of Brady, out of Rodgers, out of Manning. Well, Manning didn't play that year. Out of Breeze, you name it, he was better. He brought that team, won the division, beat the Steelers, threw for over 300 yards passing, no turnovers. He's smart with the football. Yeah, he's not accurate. Steve Young wasn't accurate, and look at him.
Yeah. What do you say to the people that say he should be tight end instead of quarterback?
I think it's dumb.
I think so. Do you think he could be a great tight end though?
I don't know. He's been playing quarterback his whole life, so.
Yeah, I honestly think that Tim Tebow's probably one of the most hated quarterbacks around, though. Crazy as it sounds.
Yep,
I run into for every one Tim Tebow fan I run into 9 people that hate him.
Yep, I'll defend him till he retires.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of his, nor am I. I don't hate him. I just he just doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean?
I think the whole reason people hate him is just because he wears his Christianity on his sleeve.
Yeah, and
I think it's.
I mean, I can see where people can find fakeness in that. You know what I mean? I can see where people would judge him and be like, oh, this is all for publicity and stuff. But I mean, I see the same thing with Ray Lewis. I felt the same way with Ray Lewis. Part of me was, I mean, I wasn't saying it like out loud or saying it to people, but part of me in the back of my mind was thinking, Ray Lewis, this seems a little fake to me. All this religion stuff. I mean, I can see where people would get that, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and judge the guy because you don't know if it's real or not. You don't know if it's genuine.
Yeah, well, like he's been doing it since college. His parents were missionaries.
Mm-hmm.
He was on his summers off. He was going with them. He was doing circumcisions on kids in third world countries.
Oh dang! Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's obviously a lot more to him than he's got his dark side like everybody else, but he does a good job not showing it. I think people would probably like him more, sad as it sounds, but if he showed his dark side a little bit.
And I think he should. I really think he should. I think he should be he should be harder on the reporters that question him about anything.
Yeah.
I think we need to see a little heel turn.
see him come out there and just go heel on him. Man, and start referring to himself in the third person. Oh, Tebow don't like that. Tebow goes out on the field when Tebow wants to go out on the field.
Start talking. Let him hang out the roster.
I'd be a fan of him. I'll tell you that if he did that, I'd be a fan of him. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a fan of his, but neither I'm not a hater of his either. It just doesn't matter to me either way, really.
Yeah, and like going past that, the whole NFL free agency and the NFL talk about Roger Goodell wants the NFL talked about 24/7, 365, like it's not already.
Oh,
he wants to push back the draft till May.
God,
and all that stuff. I think it's fine how it is. I think it's crazy that it's primetime Thursday nights for the draft, but again, I watch it every time it's on. So
yeah, who do you think's going first this season this year?
I don't know. I think Kansas City is still going to take that left tackle and trade theirs because they franchise them because. They traded for Alex Smith, so there's no need. They're not going to draft Geno Smith.
That was a good trade too, by the way. I think Alex Smith was just not used, properly. I think he can be a fantastic quarterback.
Oh yeah, you can't really expect much from a guy who's had a different offensive coordinator every single season.
Exactly.
His NFL career.
Yeah, I think I was one of the only people in the world that was yelling, "Put Alex Smith in at halftime" at the Super Bowl last year. I was like super tweeting that and everything. I was like, "Please put Alex Smith in."
Yeah, I don't know. Well, all the defensive coordinators say that whole read option thing was probably it's the flavor of the day. It's like they almost say it's the Wildcat, but guys like RG3, guys like Russell Wilson, they can throw. They're accurate. I don't know about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, speaking of Colin Kaepernick, how many people jumped on the Kaepernick wagon last year?
Oh, man. Yeah.
There's so many 49er fans now. It's almost like watching the Bulls all of a sudden. For some reason, there's tons of Bulls fans now, too. But, God, there's just so many Kaepernick guys.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, this time last year, I had no idea who that man was. You know what I mean? Like, what's a Kaepernick? I would think it's like a really bad beverage of some sort.
I saw him a little bit playing college at Nevada. He looked good in college, but then again, what amazing read option quarterback.
I mean, Vince Young looked fantastic in college.
Yeah,
he was like one of the best in college too.
Yeah.
And I mean, Tom Brady, one of the greatest of all time. I mean, he was underlooked in college. He was underlooked.
Oh man,
he was underlooked. Yeah. I mean, when was he drafted? What round was he in? Was he in the? Oh man, I forget when. Yeah, he was up there, dude. He was nowhere near the number 1 draft pick. And I mean, look at that. He was nowhere near. And look, he's one of the greatest ever. And I mean, there's a lot of people that won't. And there's people that listen to this that will never admit that Tom Brady is one of the greatest ever.
I know
this can't do it. And I'm a Colts fan. I'm a Peyton Manning guy, and I can admit that Tom Brady is one of the greatest ever.
Yep, especially just the people that love that love to hate on greatness.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because Tom Brady.
Just the best of the best have this. I mean, honestly, it shows how good you are when you have these kind of people around you. LeBron's got them, you know.
Yep.
All the best of the best have them, you know. That's just the way it is.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan's got them,
He's
you know.
never, besides Wes Welker and Randy Moss, he's had scrubs.
Oh yeah, yeah. He hasn't had the Yankees of teams, you know. It's been Tom Brady made a lot of these guys look better than they really are. Let's just say it. Let's just say what a lot of people won't say that, but I'll say it. That's just the facts.
It is a fact.
You know.
That's you want to get into some basketball talk?
Yeah, you want to make a different video about basketball because we're running at 25 minutes in a second here.
All right, yeah, we can.
So, is there anything else football related that we'd like to go over for this week at all?
Not really. Just ready for the draft, and be sure to follow us on our Twitter at SportGuys247.
And make sure you subscribe too. Subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you guys can.
Yep, and give us comments. Let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah.
All right, guys.